What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan, and I'm BManX45, and we're coming at you with another video as we get ever closer to the pre-release for BT24. We're going to be doing more of our how to build series videos. This time we're looking at Creepymon. This is the first time I'm even thinking about building Creepymon, but I'm excited because I love 7 Demon Lords, and it's been kind of nice to finally get a fully kind of fleshed out line for the Creepymon deck profile. So this is our how to build for Creepymon. Hope you guys enjoy as always. Tell me if you think I missed cards, if you like the selection that I chose, and what you think overall about the deck. If you think it's going to be playable, you think it's going to be not that good, whatever you think it is. But we're going to be taking a look, and we'll probably do at least one more how to build before pre-release. So stay tuned for that as well. I haven't decided really which deck I want to do, but we're going to get into it as soon as we can. But hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of fun. All right, well, let's get right into it here, and we are going to be looking at the Creepymon deck. So we're going to start down here, as always, with the Digi-Egg. The best Digi-Egg, I feel like, for this is the Pagumon. You're trashing from your opponent's deck. Your turn once per turn when your opponent's deck is trashed from, draw one. So draw engine, just feel like it's the best one there. So that's kind of what, I can't see anything else that would be better. Going back up to the rookies here, we have the Digimon. We got an EX10, which is start of your main phase. If your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash the top 2 cards of both players' deck. Then if you have 10 or more cards in the trash, gain 1 memory. So helps you trash your opponent's stuff, sets up your plays. And then when attacking, once per turn, trash the top card of both players' decks. So inheritable to do that of that. And if you get over 10, you get that extra memory. So it helps you extend your plays. You're going to be playing 4 of this. You're also going to be playing for the new Demi-Devi because it's a generic searcher for all your traits, Evil, Fallen Angel, and 7 Great Demon Lords, which covers everything that you have in your deck pretty much. I believe, except for maybe the ghost. If you play Soulmon, it won't be searchable, but you either have Evil or Fallen Angel, or of course your 7 Great Demon Lords. So he reveals top 3, adds 1 card with Evil or Fallen Angel, and 1 card with 7 Great Demon Lords, so you can potentially get 2 hits, and then returns the rest of the bottom of the deck. Then trash 1 card from your hand, so it sets up your trash, and then when attacking, trash the top card of both players' decks. So that as well. We're looking at Impmon EX10 because he gives your Creepymon DP, which is that's fine. But when this card is trashed from the deck, you may delete one of your opponent's level 4. So he gets rid of floodgates when you trash from your deck, because you're going to be doing both you and your opponents. And start a main, trash top 2 cards of your deck. So it does trash your deck, which I think it doesn't necessarily always matter if your opponent has 10 or more cards in trash. Sometimes it matters if you do. So I thought this would be a good addition. You might not play 4 copies, but you might play 3. And then start of your main phase when digivolving Devimon. If your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in the trash top 2 cards of both players' decks. Then if you have 10 or more cards, you may return 1 card with the Fallen Angel or Undead trait from your trash to your hand. So it helps you get your stuff back to your hand. Again, this is going to be very important since you're trashing a lot. And then when attacking, trash the top card of both players' decks. Again, when attacking. Soulmon's in there because it has memory gain, and sometimes if you're going to go build up your stack in the back, you don't have Devimons that you want. Start a main, so doesn't necessarily matter if you push it out. But if you say you have something in the back and you want to play this in the back and then go straight up to your level 5, you can. And then you just have that memory gain inheritable from your trash effects. And of course, we got the new Vilemon from BT24, which is going to have the when attacking, trash the top card of both players' deck's inheritable as well. It's also going to have when moving, when digivolving, which I'm liking the when moving abilities. Trash one card in your hand, and then your opponent may trash one card in their hand. If your opponent didn't trash with this effect, trash the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So he gives them a choice. All turns while your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, this Digimon gains blocker and 2000 plus 2000 DP. So that's kind of cool. And then our level 5s, we're looking at, of course, Skull Satamon is the perfect level 5 for this deck. We have the EX10 guy. He's got blocker. He's got when digivolving on deletion. If your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash, trash the top 3 cards of both players' decks. Then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, add 2 to this effect level's maximum, so you can delete up to a level 5 with that ability. I will mention that all these abilities are either when digivolving, start of main, or when moving. So there's nothing really on play other than, of course, your Searcher Devimon. Nothing's really on play in this deck so far. It's all based on digivolving, which is kind of something that's interesting. A lot of decks are moving away from just digivolving effects. They're giving you on play when digivolving effects, just because that way you can slam down a guy if you absolutely have to and be able to do something. But its inherited effect is when attacking once per turn, this Digimon gains security +1 for the turn. And if your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash, instead trash the top 2 cards of both players' deck. So again, security +1 or trash to try and get to that number 10 cards in their trash, which should be pretty easy. And then the new BT24 Skull Sama's pretty similar. It's got blocker. It's got the same inheritable security +1 or trash top 2 if you have under 10 on your opponent's trash. It's got when digivolving on deletion, if your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash, trash the top 3. If your opponent has 10 or more, you may play one level 4 lower evil or fallen angel Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. So this guy's cool because he adds bodies to the field, which potentially get you abilities. Of course, again, it's going to be better with something like Devimon because you get inheritables than it is with, because it could be level 4 or lower. So it's going to be, than it is with things like Devimon or Vilemon. The only thing Vilemon's going to be nice for is a blocker. So that's kind of it's a decent ability, but I'm not 100% sure about it. Let's just say. Then we get into our boss monster, of course, Creepymon. Which Creepymons are we going to play? The old Creepymon from BT8, really old card. Probably not going to see play, but we wanted to go over him when digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of the deck for each of your opponent's Digimon in play. If you trash 4 or more cards by this effect, you may play one level 5 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. And then when attacking, for every 10 cards in your trash, trash the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. So, I mean, this is a potential way to mill out your opponent. So you could tech one copy of this for like a potential win. It's not technically bad in this deck, especially depending on how late in the game it is. So potentially could see play. And then we were talking about like the ratios and stuff like that. The Skull Satamons, I'm not sure. Maybe you play 3 of each. Maybe you play 4 and 3 of one. I'm not sure what the deck is going to look like. But you could just play 4 and 4. But a lot of decks I find today are kind of cutting back on the level 5. 7 is usually a good enough number. You also have probably playing, like I said, maxing on the Devimon, the Vilemon, and then maybe playing, between 2 to 4 copies of the Soulmon. With the Creepymon from EX6, this is the one I'm not sure would act. I'm more sure that this probably isn't going to see play than I am about the BT8 one, because it's more for the 7 Great Demon Lords deck, the Gate deck, which is, he's got blocker, he's got on play when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. For each level of the Digimon deleted by this effect, trash the top card of your deck, so it's only a mill for your deck. All turns when this Digimon would leave the ballot area. Other than in battle, place one card with the 7 Great Demon Lords trait from your trash at the bottom of one of your gates. So this I don't think is going to see play. It's just not for the deck. The one that's going to be the main one, more so than the BT8, is going to be the EX10 Creepymon. When digitaling on deletion, delete all of your opponent's lowest DP Digimon. That's all of them. So if they have the same level Digimon, they all die. Then if this effect didn't delete, trash their deck's top 5 cards. So if you've cleared the board, even better. When attacking, if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, you may play one red or purple 5,000 DP or lower Digimon card from your trash to your empty breeding area without paying the cost. End of your turn, this Digimon may attack. So you get an automatic may attack at the end of the turn, which is super good. And you get to set up your breeding area for the next turn. And as you can see, all of our level 4s are 5k or lower, or any of your rookies, obviously. So you can any of your level 4s can be played to the empty breeding area, which can be really good, especially because you got your when moving and your starter main abilities. So that's really good. You're gonna play 4 of that no matter what. Of course, Creepymon X-Antibody, the new Creepymon X-Antibody, Digivolves for 2 on Creepymon. And trash your turn when one of your Creepymon attacks. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, by Digivolving it into this card without paying the cost, trash your opponent's top security card. So it's trash ability, super, super good. You can use all your when attacking abilities first with Creepymon to get the max value out of him. Only you won't get it as obviously you won't get his on deletion. Then we have when digitaling, delete all of your opponent's lowest level Digimon. Then you may play up to 4 play cost total worth of evil or fallen angel trait cards from your trash without paying the cost. For every 10 cards in your opponent's trash, add 4 to this effect's play cost maximum. So, I mean, if you most of your effects activate after 10, so you can play up to 8 play costs worth of cards. So you could potentially play a Skull Satamon, or you could play a couple level 4s, or a level 4 and a level 3. So this is really, really good. And, fills up the board, gets you more abilities, creates things that your opponent has to get rid of. And it puts in work because it, trashes your opponent's top security card. Plus, if you're attacking with Skull Satamon, you're potentially doing 2 checks. So it also puts pressure on your opponent's security at the same time that you're milling the crap out of them. So that's really, really good as well. That's one thing that we think is really good about the deck. This is probably going to be 2 to 3 copies. It's going to be the main focus of the deck, besides the EX10 guy. Like I said, you could play the BT8 one as a tech. It would not be a bad one. I personally don't think it would be terrible. If we get into our options, I don't know what tamers really here in this deck. If you need tamers, I mean, probably generically, if you were going to play a tamer, you'd play the memory tamer Matt Ashida that I think gains you a memory when you trash a card from your hand. But you don't really trash cards from your hand, so that probably wouldn't be that good. I just don't know any tamers that would really be good for this deck at the current moment. Looking at options, we look at things like Protoform. You could play Protoform for when you have your Creepymon X-Antibody in the hand, and then you could go into it for 1. That's a potential card you could play as well. Definitely this deck is going to gain a lot out of things like Wisdom Training, Memory Boost, potentially Missed Memory Boost if you want to mill stuff from your deck over just searching. But if you don't play Tamers, you might as well play Purple Memory Boost, because you're not going to be putting anything on the bottom of your deck in this deck unless it's an option card. You also have Scramble. Scramble's going to be important in this deck, putting stuff on the top of your deck, especially stuff that you might want to mill, or just stuff you want to draw into. as well as using, getting your effects off at the start of the turn and getting a level 3 on the board. So Scramble's another good one. Thought I put it in here. I guess I missed it. But yeah, we have the other cards. And then of course we have the new option cards for Creepymon, which are 7th Gravitation, so trash when any of your Digimon Digimon into Creepymon X-Antibody by returning this card to the bottom of the deck. Activate its main effects, which is to delete your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon. If the effect didn't delete, trash the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. So, yeah. And the other one is Flame Inferno. When this card would be used, if your opponent has 10 or more, reduce the play cost by 3. So it's potentially a 6 cost. This is the new promo. Main, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon. Then by deleting one of your evil or fallen trait Digimon, you may play one Creepymon from your trash without paying the cost. The Digimon this effect played gains Rush and Blocker until your opponent's turn ends. So the cool thing about this is you can use this, at the end of your turn to delete a Creepymon, this Creepymon here that has already attacked and already milled, 5, to delete it, and then just play another Creepymon, play the Creepymon that you played, or another Creepymon, or so the same Creepymon in your trash, to gain Rush, and then that guy can mill and attack again, and potentially Digivolve into X-Antibody and trash the top card. So there's a lot of good stuff in this deck. This is definitely Flame Inferno is a big win for the deck in this promo card. Same with 7 Gravitation is pretty cool as well. So you're probably going to play at least a couple copies of both of these. The only other thing that I didn't think about when I was is Death Slinger. Death Slinger is going to be a good one because, being able to mill this from the top of the deck and gain a memory, and then or potentially just use this to delete a level 4 lower, and because it's a mill deck, it's good. It's not Beelzemon specific, so Death Slinger is going to be a good card in this deck for memory gain and for and just for destruction. So that's potentially one. The other one I was thinking about, and I couldn't remember, Rivals. I wasn't sure if Rivals Barrage would be good. Potentially it would. Yeah, because it just adds a purple Digimon card. So Rivals Barrage potentially would be good too, being that it's a mill card. I think Death Slinger's better. I don't necessarily know if you need Rivals Barrage because you have this Devimon, which is start of main. So even if he's not on play, if you have him there on the start of main, you get to use its ability. So not terribly bad. So, and then the fact that you're trashing multiple cards when you attack off inheritables is good. You have 2 win cons. You deck out your opponent, or you actually just win by beating down security, which you have a pretty decent chance of doing with some 1200, 1300 DP Digimon. And you don't necessarily care if you die, honestly. Yeah, so I mean, that's the deck. Tell me what you guys think. Is there any other cards that you're thinking about playing in this deck? I think it's going to be heavily reliant on options, like a lot of purple decks, like Leviamon. But it's got a good, solid base, and I can't wait to see what this deck does. I'm excited to play it, especially with the addition of Creepymon X-Antibody. Let me know if there's any cards you guys thought I missed, if there's anything you think that would go better in this deck. And I think that's it right now, guys. But we will have a deck profile for this in the future, because I'm definitely going to play this in the BT24 format. But looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. And as always, have a wonderful day, and that's all for now, folks.